On March 3, 2013, the family of João and Lucila experienced one of the most dramatic and later most miraculous episodes in their family history. That Sunday, Lucas, a happy and lively child, only 5 years old, was playing with his little sister on the couch at his grandparents' house in Giranda, in the interior of Paraná, Brazil. Without realizing that the glass window next to him was open, he leaned on it and fell from a height of approximately 21 feet, hitting his head violently on the floor. He suffered a head injury with loss of brain tissue. Lucas was rushed to the city hospital and then transferred to a medical center in Campo Mourão. The trip lasted almost an hour. During the trip and in the hospital, he fell into a coma and suffered 2 cardiac arrests. The doctors did everything they could and performed emergency surgery on him. Even so, the prognosis was grim. If he survived, he would have serious cognitive disabilities, or even remain in a vegetative state. In desperation, the family began to pray to Jesus and Our Lady of Fatima. The next day, we called the Carmelites of Campo Mourão, asking for prayers. The sister who answered, touched by grief, prayed for the family's comfort, believing that Lucas would not survive. But she did not pass the message on to the community. Days passed, and the child's condition only worsened. On March 6th, the doctors considered transferring him again, as the hospital did not have adequate resources. It was then that we called the Carmel again. This time, the request reached the community. At that moment, one of the sisters, who already had great devotion to the Blessed Francisco and Jacinta Marto, felt a strong inner impulse. Days before, she had had a dream. She saw herself in a cemetery, sitting in front of a child's grave, when the shepherd boy Francisco appeared silently. The sister, unaware of Lucas's accident, understood that she had to pray for a child. When she heard about the boy, she went straight to the tabernacle, where the relics of the little shepherds were kept. It was March 7th, and she prayed a simple and powerful prayer. Francisco and Jacinta, save this boy, who is a child like you. She convinced the entire community to pray exclusively with the intercession of the little shepherds. That same afternoon, while preparing the community mass, she was sacristan that year. She placed the key to the tabernacle and saw on the keychain the Immaculate Heart of Mary on one side and the faces of Francisco and Jacinta on the other. She felt a new impulse of faith. Before the Blessed Sacrament, she knelt down and prayed, "Francisco, Jacinta, please heal Lucas." At that very moment, she felt an inner certainty that her prayer had been heard. 2 days later, on Saturday, March 9th, Lucas woke up from his coma, calling for his little sister and asking for his pillow. No doctor could explain why. On the 11th, he left the ICU. On the 15th, he was discharged completely, without any after effects. Everything Lucas had been before the accident, his intelligence, his character, remained intact. The medical team, including non-believers, testified that there was no scientific explanation for his recovery. The case was submitted to the Congregation for the Causes of Saints in the Vatican, which conducted lengthy investigations. 6 doctors voted unanimously that the miracle was inexplicable by medicine. The miracle was officially recognized in 2016. On May 13, 2017, the 100th anniversary of the first apparition in Fatima, Pope Francis canonized the siblings, Francisco and Jacinta Marto, making them the youngest non-martyr saints in the history of the Church, at the ages of 10 and 9. Today, the family lives with deep gratitude, feeling the living friendship of these 2 little saints, who interceded for their son. More than a story of healing, this miracle is a call to faith, a sign that the Immaculate Heart of Mary will triumph, and that love for the hearts of Jesus and Mary, as they burned in the breasts of the little shepherds, can still ignite the world to reveal the love and power of God, making our hearts like His.